Check, check, test. Test, 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 test. Barry Hill.
It should be the first one.
Barry Hill. You hear me on there? Yes. Okay. We'll give it like 2 more minutes and then we'll start. No, I hate starting late.
Oh, I know.
So, but I don't want you to have to repeat yourself like 12 times either, because I know there'll be some stragglers that'll stroll in here.
Go right out that door. Turn left.
Are you northeast? You're southeast. Yeah. Yeah, you don't need the ballot.
Yeah, that changed last year.
I'll verify.
You're
with
Tulsa
the names
County,
anyway.
right? Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm northeast. So I do need that.
Oh.
No, sleeping is not operating now. I want to throw in that injury map. And she's
We can give an equipment update. I'll make the announcement that I'll tell the East clubs that use my stuff that they're gonna get charged. Did we decide if we're doing the West the OKWA equipment, if we're charging for it or not?
We don't want to go to the water anymore. We were talking about that on the way up here, and I agree. I think you're more likely to have less pushback if
Let's go ahead and get started. So, appreciate everyone coming out. I think I know most of you. My name is Jeremy Rooks, for those that I don't. Matt Young, Kurt Quittem, Christy, Jennifer, Rocky, Tom. Terrible at names. No, I'm just kidding.
And Bobby.
And Bobby. Bobby, I didn't see you there, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
I'm sure Bobby. So, the others that are on the board, I don't even know who the Northwest directors are these days.
Casey and Leo. I had to do the math in my head for a second.
I know,
Casey
it's
and
like-
Leo.
So Casey Ledford and Leo Blay are the other 2 directors that are not here today. Chris Bell is the other Southwest director. He should be here shortly. He had a car wreck on the way here. He's okay, I think. Bobby and I are Southeast, for those that don't know. Matt and Kirk are Northeast. And then Jennifer is also Southwest. All right? All right, so with that, we're going to start off with rules changes. We do have an agenda that we'll kind of go through. We'll somewhat go through that agenda. We'll definitely go through all the items on the agenda, but I do have a few other things that we'll go through as well and give a few updates. But I just want to start out with rule changes. So, Rocky, you and Tom got the floor. I did.
As you guys know, or probably should know, scoring changes, everything's different this year with scoring. Down to north 3. Near ball can be 2, 3, or just the college outbounds?
Yeah.
Okay, so nothing will change for us as far as the outbound.
Safety first. Safety first,
Right.
but if anything's in, we're wrestling.
Yeah, anything touches the floor, we're out.
Or table, clock.
Yeah, anything other than that.
It's touching the mat.
What?
Is it the cylinder? Or is it touching the mat?
We're cylinder still.
Cylinder,
right?
just like you wrestle.
Anything in
I
the
think
cylinder.
high school says it's touching the mat.
Yeah, high school, you gotta have
College
something
is
touching.
cylinder.
But it's one point. Well, not to confuse things, we've decided we probably keep it where we've been, which is the cylinder.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already got to that level at this level, so I don't see a reason to back up. We haven't talked about the rules, because we haven't got a rule book yet, but I think Jeremy and probably most people here would agree, if we wrestled one way last year, let's just keep it that way. I
Yep.
don't see a reason to be touching the mat.
Yeah, I would say for out of bounds, let's stick to the cylinder rule. Just like, I think it's easier to call. So.
Yeah, Tom and I talked on the way up, guys. I mean, there's a couple other little changes that we've not seen it. We haven't already booked yet. They haven't released a test for it yet. It should hopefully be out next week. And I want to tell you one thing, and the book says something else, and then we're 4 weeks into the season, I haven't seen it yet, and we're still thinking it's the one we told you today. So, we're going to have some meetings between now and season. We'll kind of go over everything, and come tournament time, we'll be 100% on everything. But right now, we're like 90% on everything, but I don't want to tell you wrong. So, that's kind of where I'm at there. Tom, did you have Michelle?
No, that's all I covered. I wasn't going to go 100%. If our guy makes 5 on the test, that's all he's going to
Yeah, and I'll tell you, like, we've been to a couple of tournaments. I don't know if you guys have been to a couple of tournaments since the rules changed. But, like, All-State is a good example. It was rough. So, it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. You're going to have to bear with us. I can assure you that.
Yeah, I was going to say, guys like Tom and I, we've been calling for 20 plus years. We've got 20-something years of muscle memory that.
Probably the new guys that'll have it down pat before the old guys.
Is flow adjusted?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been available in flow for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, luckily, we'll have, we're probably going to throw up 2 or say 2 or whatever, and Jeremy will save our butts with the computer. So I think we'll be okay there.
It won't let you give to on a takedown. It will not. So.
That's a nice thing there that it's going to score correctly, no
Yeah.
matter what we say or hold up.
Yep. It's one of the advantages of arena over track, for sure. So, anything else on the?
There definitely will be more questions on near fall.
Okay,
There'll be a lot more,
2, 3, or 4.
holding 2, holding 3 was a big difference in the count. A little more clear cut. There'll be a lot more contested points because they're going to be close. You're going to be
2 side, 3
a
side.
lot more to that next point. A lot more, probably you had 2 or 3 times during the match, maybe 2 or 3 times during the period that you're questioning, well, should we got 3 there? Should we got 4? That's going to be a lot of controversy there that just going to have to kind of adjust to.
So it's a judgment call.
I like it, but it's a lot more. There's a lot more judgment now. Whether it was 2, whether it was 3, it's the difference between 3 last year was without getting that last squat.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be my 3rd squat, my 4th squat. Was I halfway or was I, Because if I'm going halfway, I mean I give it, thought it was there, but now it's not only going to be on that
Yeah.
fifth one. It's going to be
2,
kind of started it, or he was fast with it, or that's part of what I'm saying. There's going to be a lot more contested because it's not going to be just that one instance at the end, whether it was 2 or 3. It's going to be a lot of 3s and 4s that we're going to be fighting for.
Yeah.
So,
And it should be at the completion.
That's good.
It's how it should be.
that's how it should be.
I mean,
Yeah, it's just, I mean, we'll definitely have to work with officials because you got guys like Jimmy, who's just a flick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, he is. He's just a flick next to his leg. So like, we're gonna have to get real consistent on that. And
Well,
so,
it's just like my main point is going to be a lot more
Yeah.
of those situations.
for sure,
So,
for sure. And all I'll tell you guys as a coach is if it's consistent both ways, then you got to live with it. So if it's the start of a swipe for one kid and the last of the swipe for another, then we got problems. But if it's the start for both or it's the end for both, I mean, it's what it is. So,
yeah, I as a coach myself, when I did my son, each ref was different.
yeah,
And I knew that going into it. This guy's going to call a quick ball. He's not.
yep.
So,
And we're having an officials meeting for OKWA on this side on the 5th of October. And you got anybody that wants to come is more than welcome. We're gonna have it at Bishop Kelly again this year. Kyle just got with me on that. That's I lost my train of thought there. But
You're going to talk to the officials
yeah,
about.
I'm gonna have them
Try to
be
get on the same page.
very verbal especially on the back count. So the coaches, the kids, everybody's gonna know where they're at in the match. And I'm saying, guys, finish with a 1, 2. Once you get the 2 out, we've got 2. We're not going back, but make sure you're completely finished before you say the word. And I mean, that's how I'm going to talk to them and try to keep as consistent as we can at being inconsistent.
Yep. That's all you can ask for. Any other rules stuff? Any other rules questions right now? What we got, Rocky and Tom? If you are running a tournament on this side of the state, so northeast or southeast, if you are hosting a tournament, Rocky is your contact for officials. No exceptions. I don't care if you're using your own guys, that's fine. You got to talk to Rocky first. Okay? If you got high schoolers or whatever that you want to use to try to help save cost or whatever the case is, get with Rocky, get them certified, get them whatever it takes, but it's got to go through Rocky. No exceptions. Okay?
Again, October 5th, guys, I'm going to go over the test with everybody that shows up. I will get everybody that's there certified. I think we were 100% last year. And
Is that at Bishop?
yes, it's at Bishop Kelly.
And if you got any parents or whatever that want to make some money on a Saturday while they're instead of sitting in the stands, I'm sure we could use officials.
Absolutely. And guys, my phone number, anybody that wants it, 918-815-7862.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Rocky. Thanks, Tom.
I think it's 10 o'clock. I think it's 10 o'clock.
Saturday.
Yeah, but I'll have something on, I have something out in the next days on OKWA, so everything will be officially official.
All right. Okay. A couple other things kind of outside of OKWA that's kind of in the works that maybe you're interested, maybe you're not. As you guys know, Flow and Track are one company. They've been talking about writing a joint software for a few years now, and it's going to merge. Well, it still hadn't happened. So this year we'll still be on Arena. So if you're running an OKWA tournament, it'll be on Arena. Our regional, state, all that stuff will be on Arena. There's a few more of the high school tournaments that might be going to Arena. Track's kind of phasing out. So USA now has their own. They have their own bracketing system. So if you go wrestle a Fargo or a preseason nationals or anything in Arkansas or Kansas or any of those, even Oklahoma USA, they're all going to be on a new bracketing system called USA Bracketing, I think is the name of it. We're getting certified on it too, just in case we help out with anything. So if you ever have any questions, I certainly can help you with that. But there are new players in the game. The other one that's in the game is Rockfin. So Rockfin's now got their own. So if you ever go to an event where Rockfin's the streaming service, it's probably going to be their bracketing service. So again, there's more players out there. Just know that, you know, we're staying with Arena for at least for this year. Once Flow makes the change, we'll probably move to that, or we will move to that. But until they make that change, I don't see us going anywhere. At least not right now, because there's just not a better. From my end, from my perspective, now parents are a little bit different, but from my perspective, it's 15 minutes on Arena, it's 4 hours on track. So we're not moving off of it.
For you, maybe, but yeah.
For me. So, let's see. What else was there? There was something else I was gonna add. I don't remember what else there was. If I think of it, I'll bring it up. So I guess with that, we can start down the agenda. So, okay. So the OKWA website. We spent the last, month or so, trying to get it updated to be ready for this season. We made some fairly significant changes to it. It's still mostly the same. A couple of the changes we made. So this year, unlike last year, we had to re-enter everybody. This year, there's an option to add from your previous year's roster. So if you go in and you start punching in, or you go in to where you're going to go add your kids, there'll be a button that says add from previous year. You click that. All your kids from last year's roster will be in the list. You can pick the ones you want, just add them to this year. And then it'll add them to your cart. You'll still do the same Stripe checkout process that you did last year. Every kid must be on a roster if they're wrestling in an OKWA tournament. We are still working on a tighter integration with that between Arena and our website, just to make sure that everybody's on roster. And that's strictly for our insurance purposes. You don't want to get left out. You don't want that on you, so please make sure they're on your rosters. Same with coaches. So coaches this year, last year you had to enter everything from scratch, get all their pictures, all that stuff, all that fun stuff. This year, whenever you go in to add a coach, if you use the same email that you used last year, it'll pop up their name, their picture, all the things. So you just put in their email address, all the rest of the info comes in, including their picture. They need to redo their safe sport. They need to redo their background if it's required. You'll have to check those boxes, the concussion, and hit submit. We'll reapprove those. They get approved, they get a QR code, and we'll start the QR code process with the very first tournament this year. Okay, so those tournaments that are November 4th, you will have to have the QR code to get in and coach those tournaments, to be a coach and get a coach's band. Okay, no exceptions. So get your kids on your roster, get your coaches on your roster, and we can go from there. All right. The dues are still $15 this year. It's by far the cheapest in the country, anywhere you'll find. Is it 20? 20. Sorry.
That's what it was last year.
Sorry, it's 20. Same as last year. It's 20. It's still the cheapest you'll find anywhere. I think USA this year went to 25 for their cheapest. And I think they're at like 55 or 60 for their other,
60.
Almost 65 for their normal membership. So again, $20 is by far the cheapest membership you'll find anywhere in the country. Our tournaments on the weekends, $20 or $25, depending on if they're at a school or there's some event center. I think are still the cheapest you'll find anywhere. And so we try to keep it as affordable as possible. So, any questions about the OKWA website, the portal website, anything on that front? Oh yeah, the waivers. So I don't know how many of you guys made use of that last year, but you no longer need to get a waiver for your club. So in the years past we had the paper waivers that you had to get. Now it's all electronic. As soon as you put the kid in, you put in the parent's email address, not your club admin email address. Put in the parent's email address. It'll send them an email. They can accept the waiver right there. It's all recorded on the back end. We got record of all that and all that. So you don't have to keep the paper forms anymore. No more signatures and all that stuff. Just put in the parent's email. And again, this year when you type in the parent's email for a kid, and actually you won't even have to if they're already on it, if they're already in the system, it'll just pop the parent's email in there for you. Okay, so you don't even have to update that stuff. But if you got somebody new, they got a new kid wrestling this year, if you put their email in, it'll pop all their info in too. Okay?
Is there a way to tell Jeremy that if the parents have completed the waiver or not?
There is. In their club list, there's a column that says either waiver pending or approved.
Okay.
Yep. And then there's also the option, some of you I think used it last year to resend those waivers out for your pending ones as kind of the season progresses.
Question.
Yes.
So the pending and approved deal,
Yep.
they have to be approved before they can enter a tournament? So it's,
We prefer
so
that,
it's
yes.
you prefer it.
We prefer that. I can't enforce that. I'll be honest that there's not a way for me to genuinely enforce that. But yes, we would absolutely prefer that they're approved before they enter a tournament.
And you do, right, as a coach, like,
They all have waivers already.
okay.
Okay. For the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now, we've been using the USA background check process. It's not changing. Be the same. Same with their safe sport. I mean, from the liability perspective, it's just so much easier on us as an organization to not have that burden on us. So, continue to use their background check. Safe sport. I already talked about registering coaches on the OKWA site. Let's see. Let's see what else. So this is a rule we put in last year, and we wanted to reinforce it again this year. If you're hosting a tournament, the weights must be entered in arena. Period. All right. None of the we got the paper sheets over here. They got to be entered. So if you do remote weigh-ins, you got to collect those weigh-in sheets from all those remote locations, and they got to be entered in the system. And that's at the tournament directors. It's their responsibility. Okay, it's not your flow director's responsibility. It's your tournament director's responsibility. You got to capture those sheets. You got to get them entered in the system. We'll certainly try to remind you of that. But again, it's a liability thing. We had a situation happen a couple years ago where 2 kids were wrestling. We needed to know the weights of both of them. Fortunately, we had both their weights, but it just made us reinforce that, hey, they got to be in the system. Okay. No difference on regionals this year, so I would ask for a little bit of feedback. So what do you guys think about our regional thing last year, where it was $40 for everybody, and there's no state entry fee? Is that fair?
Oh, yeah, sure.
For the most part, right, it's fair. And it saves, every kid that goes to state saves $5. Every kid that doesn't go to state loses out on 15. Right?
And I didn't have to write a check for scratching.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, as somebody hosting a regional tournament, it's so much easier. So you don't have to stay and collect all that. You don't have to get all that stuff. So hopefully you as coaches also realize that it was a good trade-off, right?
Yeah, the year before last, we couldn't find our club or president, so we couldn't even get a check, and we're scrambling around it.
Yeah, that's cool. Your kids won't get to wrestle. You'll be all right.
We're paying for kids that aren't going.
Okay. Top 6, just like last year, we'll go to state. One question about last year is just get a little bit of feedback on this. So last year at state, we wrestled the 5th place matches and the 7th place matches during the regular sessions, and the only ones that wrestled that night were 1st and 3rd. You guys, we still good with that? Any big objections to that?
I really like the way you had them all on the mats ordered out, and everything was smooth, I thought, personally.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if we got the match to do it all together anyway, do we?
It would make for a super long.
Depends on if we're in Tulsa or in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
We're in Tulsa this year,
Yeah.
so it's only 14 mats instead of 18. I think is what we get in down there, 16 or 18.
Oh, I like it.
So okay, so no big objections to that either, right? Okay. All right. A few other tournament FYIs. If you have or you haven't hosted tournaments before, there is a really, really helpful guide on our OKWA website that Christy and Jennifer and maybe some others put together. I don't know who all put it together, but they did a really great job on when you're organizing a tournament. Here's a full list of everything. Even if you have been doing it for 20 years, it's not a bad idea to go look at the list and just say, hey, is there anything we're missing? Right? So it's a great list. It's out there on the OKWA website. I think it's called like tournament supplies or tournament info or something like that. It's a really awesome list that you probably should check out if you're hosting a tournament. Or if you're interested in hosting a tournament, it's a good starting point. We still discourage home weigh-ins. If you want to do remote weigh-ins, that's completely up to you. Home weigh-ins are just a bad idea. They're a terrible idea. Everybody weighing their own kids in my opinion, it's just a bad idea. Weighing in the morning of the tournament, it goes pretty fast. If you were at any of my tournaments last year, we did it everywhere I went, because I won't go unless they do it. But we do it the morning of the tournament. It takes 45 minutes. We weigh in 1,000 kids, 45 minutes or so. We bring scales. We've got plenty of scales, got all that stuff going for us. So, again, I would highly encourage you, if you want to host a very large tournament, I would highly recommend doing on-site weigh-ins. Definitely no home weigh-ins. Remote weigh-ins are up to you guys. Expectations for wrestlers to make their weight, obviously, and then skin and nail checks. So something we should do probably a better job of, and I'm guilty of this just as much as anybody else, is the skin and nail checks. Something we should try to do a little bit better throughout the year. Just make sure you're looking at their nails, or you got somebody that's kind of checking them as they come on the mat to go to a scale. Give a quick skin check. Put your fingernails. Questions about any of that? Anything I missed? I did.
There was like 20 kids that were complaining about it at the end of the year.
I vaguely know what you're talking about.
I don't think that it ever went up to the coaches, getting that, letting them all wrestle, but
Did we clarify? Have we made just the stuff right?
I think soccer's.
We probably need to go back and look at that. Because I think there is no exception for a first year wrestler in the current rule.
Was it the fact that it was their first year and prior to novice state they had won JOC or novice JOC?
I think said all doing really good.
So basically, I think the way that the rules are is regardless of their medal count for first or second, up into novice state, if it's their first year, they can wrestle novice.
That's what it said, but I think a lot of them were kicked out of the tournament, and then you guys ended up saying, okay, at the end. But for some reason, I thought the board had voted that all those JOC champions were going to be out in the state if they were novice JOC.
Yeah, I think it was their first year. I think the answer is no. But
I
I
just
think
want to clarify for this year because I have some not JOC and everything. It's a national tournament. It's not a national tournament. It's not.
it's 2 years unless you've won certain tournaments. Like not JOC. I mean, it was also national. You can wrestle novice championship. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what it was. They won an novice JOC.
And even the first year, we were saying they couldn't wrestle. I think that was the case.
But they're allowed to wrestle this year for the first year, or you guys need to talk about it. Just whatever.
We'll clarify.
Yeah.
We'll clarify and put out something. Put out a communication. That's good. Okay. Yes.
I tried to log into the portal just now, just to make sure. I logged in and some kid, we already signed up, and was able to log in, but now when I go log in, it says your club administrator permissions are all set up correctly.
Okay.
Please contact the regional director.
As soon as this is over, I'll live with you.
Okay.
What club is it?
Board, youth wrestling? Okay.
Yeah. We'll look at it with you in just a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think what it was, I just pulled up the rules, is that JOC is considered a multi-state tournament, which is written in the rules. So, the classification for an open wrestler is one of the bullets is a wrestler who places first or second at any OKWA state tournament, girls state, and then of course novice, which wouldn't be a thing, or any other state tournament or multi-state national tournament. So JFC would qualify as a multi-state tournament.
Novice division. And like I said, I'm fine either way, but I had the novice kids win novice JOC, enter a novice state, and you guys had said that they weren't allowed.
Or they first year.
Because novice JOC
First year
is still
kids,
a
right?
multi-state tournament though.
But the exception is the first year
Like I
kids.
said, either way you guys decide, you do let us know so we know to enter those kids or not.
We'll put some clarification out. Put some examples.
I've ran into this a couple of times. So, I know that it's a 2-year hard rule. We've got a couple of kids that entered maybe one tournament or something. How does that play out?
So there, you can request an exception.
Okay.
So you can send the board an email, send your regional director an email. It'll come to the board for a vote. There is still an exception process, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still have an exception process. So for that kid that wrestled one and needs a medical red shirt or a 4-year-old red shirt or whatever the case is, right? But I can tell you, if it's their 3rd year and they're winning every tournament and they're winning in 14 seconds, they're not going to get approved.
No, we won't let them keep going in novice if that's
Yeah,
the case.
sure. But definitely if it's a kid in their 3rd year and they wrestled one tournament and they're an average guy in a novice tournament, they're probably going to get approved.
Okay.
I have one thing I kind of forgot to bring up earlier. Tom and I were talking about it on the way up. Did you guys like the numbers on the back of the official shirts last year? Did that make it easier for y'all, or do y'all care either way, or what did y'all think as coaches?
I liked it or indifferent either way. It didn't cause any trouble,
Well,
so.
I'm just trying to figure out if we want to go back to it or go back to just a regular official shirt. And,
Didn't hurt anything.
yeah, it's not going to hurt anything, but
I think with the younger guys, it's probably a good teaching tool. Like if there's something you can take, that some guys type 42, can you talk to them about this?
the only thing is I've got to go back to near fall and see if they can help us out with the shirts again. I just.
It's a lot more positive on ours if you're saying it's number 45 instead of that idiot down there.
Keeps us a little more professional.
You're like Colorado football.
Yeah, right.
So I would say, my opinion is yes, I think we should stick with the numbers. It made it easier for voting, I'll tell you that. For voting on a regional, on
that's
the
true.
official of the year,
Well, that's
I can
good.
make it so much easier.
It's good to recognize.
I wanted
the good
42
ones,
to be in there, or
One
whatever.
thing I want
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
everybody's name on the ballot this year and
Yeah,
go that way.
yeah, we definitely need to do that, and we'll get with
Yeah.
you.
Or we can do a QR code, it's got their name, their address.
We'll just start a message board for all of them. All right, cool. What else? Anything else? All right. We'll, I guess then start on the most fun part of the whole thing here. Oh, yeah. Let me have the microphone ready. All right, let's see. Tournament scheduling. So I guess the way, I think we've all done this before, but the way it works is if you had the weekend, if you had the weekend the previous year, it's your weekend. Got to be present or have a representative here to claim your weekend, your spot. If you're not here and you didn't tell somebody that's going to be here, then we're going to assume that you didn't want the weekend and we're going to move on. Okay? I will start out with the schedule is whack this year. I don't know how the dates worked out, but for the first time that I know of ever, high school state tournament is the first weekend in March, the first Saturday in March, not the last weekend in February. Junior high state is going to be that, I think it's the second weekend. It's like February 8th. It's the second Saturday, right?
6th, 7th, and 8th.
6th, 7th, and 8th is junior high state. JOC moved back to their dates, their January date. So they're no longer the last weekend in December. They're now the first weekend in January, like they used to be. The other big move that I know about is kickoff is back. It's basically the weekend before Thanksgiving, I think that's the way it is, right, Shane? It's the weekend before Thanksgiving, which is kind of back a week from what it's normally been. So rather than the third Saturday, it's the fourth Saturday. Thanksgiving's actually the fifth Saturday this year. Okay, there are some little nuances, some little quirks, at least with some of the big in-state tournaments that you'll want to be at least knowledgeable of. We kind of go through this, and I made those changes on this sheet that I have. The dates that I have on here are kind of what I saw lined up from last year. You'll notice that some of them are going to be blank as I start scrolling down because things get a little wonky. But we'll kind of go through it. So,
This light off.
can you turn these lights off? Maybe on the other side of the table.
Is it here? Or is this a screen?
What'd you say?
The light switch behind you, but I don't know if that's a screen or not.
I think that's the screen. There you go. Oh, he keeps turning them back on.
There you go, that one.
All right. Let me see if I can. How about that? Does that work? Okay. Bigger. Well, maybe I'll get one more.
There we go. Okay. All right. So the first one I have is so Matt Gear's been running a tournament that in October outside of our season. Now, if anybody wants that October 19th date, they're out. If anybody doesn't want that October 19th date, then Jimmy with Matt Gear would like to host a tournament, probably in the Oklahoma City area. So, objections on this side of the state to that tournament? All right, perfect. The first tournament I have is November 2nd. Does anybody want the last weekend in October for a tournament? It's like I don't know the date. It's the 28th, maybe? No, the 19th to be the 26th, October 26th. Does anybody on October 26th? Okay. November 2nd. Anybody here prior? Okay. So I'm you there. You start on November 2nd? Okay.
So Tommy's actually stepping down.
Okay.
He'll be there to help. I got a scheduling conflict, but I will be there for him.
Who should I put the tournament director? Who do I list as tournament director?
I can listen to Travis Whitehead.
W-A-T-E-H-A-T?
A-C-K.
N-C-K. Okay. And if you don't mind after this, will you stop giving me your contact info? Okay. All right. Photo. Photo here?
Yeah. I want to see about moving it to January sometime.
Okay. So we put I'll just put a question mark here.
Yeah.
We'll see. And when we get to January, speak up and we'll see where we can fit you in. Okay? Anybody else for November 2nd? Okay. Chandler's on the other side of the state, so we'll catch them next weekend. The next weekend is Veterans Day Classic, Team Tulsa. Kyle, I know you want that date. Anybody else on the east side that would like November 8th and 9th? Or November 8th is the Saturday. The 9th is duels on Sunday.
No. The 9th is Saturday.
Oh, the 9th is Saturday? November 9th and 10th. So this would be 11-9. Okay. Okay. Anybody else want November 9th? No takers. All right. The next weekend would be November 18th.
16th.
Oh my gosh. I'm terrible at this. November 16th. Verdigris,
Sir,
you still want that weekend?
yes, sir.
Okay. Tahlequah?
Yes.
Okay. Any other takers on this side? Okay. Next weekend is going to be November 7th, 23rd. Is that right?
Yes.
The Saturday the 23rd. This is kind of that extra weekend that floats into November about every 3 or 4 years. It's the same weekend as kickoff. I can tell you that being opposite kickoff is usually a pretty good weekend. So if you're looking for a slot for a tournament, if you don't currently have, yeah. You want to? Yeah. That would be awesome. 23, 24. Okay. Yep. Anybody else on the 23rd?
Real quick,
Go ahead.
this year, we're allowed to use the activity center. We got the big center. So we're active.
Little play.
It'll be shows.
Okay. Awesome. We'll definitely put that on your flyer.
Yeah.
We'll definitely put that on your flyer. So I don't know if you've been in the first tournament, but I've heard rumors. It's a little small. We need internet too, by the way. So nice.
Gotcha. We'll get you.
How's that work? That's an extra week, do they get to go back to 16 next year when that week's not there?
That's a good question. So, I would say, yeah, I would say definitely you guys are more than 60 apart, right? Because you had it last year. So I mean, yeah, when it's not there, you can slide back to the weekend you're on. So, and I would say years past, give you that tips. So,
Any new club that tries to join this weekend would
Right. Okay. Anybody else on the 23rd? If not, on the 30th, Bigsby. What's your plan tonight?
2 weeks in a row.
Okay. All right. December 7th. TJ, did I see you walk in? Hi there. You're hosting regionals this year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we always don't want to determine if we can.
Yep. Understand. Yeah. As long as there's no takers way out by Southsaw, it's not close. Not looking forward to the regional trip, but it was fun. Better than Newkirk. Did I say that out loud? No, I like Newkirk. I got to stay at the casino. It's nice up there. So yeah, I think there might be a video of me and Clark going down the slide at Newkirk. So what else? What else? December 7th, Sperry. I got Sperry, Salisal, Fort Gibson. Yeah, just like it's always been.
Sperry's just, I can't remember, just opening girls, right?
Yeah. And then I know you told me, Matt, that this is the weekend you're moving to?
Yep.
So you and Tonkawa are swapping here.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this was the Tonkawa spot last year. This year it'll be Blackwell. Okay. It's a busy weekend. Busy. December 14th. December 14th, Grand Lake. Okay. Morris. Anybody here from Morris?
Yes.
Same, still doing your tournament on the 14th. Okay. All right. And then anybody else?
Is Morris just opening on?
Yes, again, we're trying to talk with the school about letting us use it 2 days, but for right now, it's just open novice.
Okay. The next weekend is the 21st.
14th?
That's the one we just did.
Oh, we just did that, okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
Grand Lake
Sorry.
and Morris, or Grove and Morris. So the 21st, I have Hennessy's Northwest. So the only thing I have here is the Battle of the Bell. Is that still Saturday, Sunday? The 21st, 22nd at the fairgrounds?
Novice is on Sunday.
Novice on Sunday. Okay.
With the duels.
Okay. And the duels, you gonna run the duels again?
Yes.
Okay. On Sunday. All right. Anybody here from Ulagal? So he moved. I think it's going. Yeah, I don't know that they're gonna even have a. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna run one or not. So it's a good date. Well, okay. So here's the weird thing about. Let me just. I'm scared to pull up my calendar.
Well, Christmas is the 25th. You wanna, you're looking at, oh, I just have this.
Yeah, I can't. I don't think I can pull up my calendar. I think it's got stuff in it. I don't want to share.
What day is it?
So what day is Christmas?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. So Christmas is on Wednesday. Skytook is on the 28th because they're the last Saturday, and I've been since I was there 5 years ago. So they're the 28th. Battle of the Belts the week before the 21st. Does anybody want? I know Cleveland, you guys were in there somewhere. I saw you up there. Now at Hominy. You want to turn in Hominy? Okay. Well, we might have to look at dates because the Christmas Wednesday thing is kind of weird. Yeah, you do like we used to do what we do Monday tournament. Well, I think we did Monday last year, right? So you can look at that again Monday, or we can look at a Friday night, Friday tournament, Thursday after the 26th.
You think the 23rd, right out a little bit, the 27th, you're saying would be better for them?
Yeah.
It's just that.
What? Bro, you're in there too. You're in that mix too. Okay.
Gore is supposed to this week, Gore's supposed to be in that weekend we had last year.
So you guys, yeah. Do you know what years you've had it in the past? Have you ever had that Saturday?
I've had it Christmas week every time.
Rashi's been Christmas week.
It's been the Christmas Saturday, right?
Yeah, it's been in a weekend a couple of times.
I think they were like the day after the OKWA tournament.
Yeah, one day they did it on a Wednesday and they did it on a Thursday.
Yeah, the 23rd.
You've even done it the same days than before, I think.
Yeah.
So
Last year they were on a
Well, they
Saturday.
did 2 days.
they were on the Saturday before, right?
They were on the 23rd on Saturday.
Which was the Saturday, which is
The
the
Saturday before Christmas.
which is the fourth weekend.
Mhm.
I'm definitely, I don't want weekend strides.
I show them on the 23rd. I don't know what the 23rd was in 2022, but they were on the 23rd then as well. And then
That was a Friday.
they were on the 22nd.
That was a Friday. The 23rd was a Friday.
Okay, and then they were on the 22nd in 2021.
That was a Wednesday.
And that was a Wednesday.
So it's kind of a floating date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want Friday. They want the 27th.
Do you want Friday the 27th, Scott? Friday the 27th? Do you want that following, like Monday after? Would be. Okay. Well, you got the belt or you got Skytube and Gore. Those are the. Which you've had the Saturday, so I'm just gonna say Gore. They've had the Saturday first, so they would get precedence over it. What's that?
I'll try to call my husband and see, what day was it for kickoff that no one else did in that area?
Verdigris took that, or how close are you to Verdigris?
We're farther.
Okay. It's the 23rd of November. The other good date that you may look at is the weekend the very first weekend, November 4th.
No, we'll still have youth league. It's a bad weekend for our area because they're still in youth league football.
Gotcha.
Because like Gore, Brushy, Salisaw.
Gotcha.
I actually had 600 medals with little Santa Claus Mountaineers on them, so. Kind of married to Christmas.
Sure.
At least for one.
Sure.
So November 23rd, or when is it?
November 23rd, or we can try to find a different.
16th was
Well, there's also an extra day. There's an extra Saturday in January this year too. We got to figure out.
Either November 23rd or.
So do you want the same weekend as SkyTube, Scott?
Sir?
Do you want the same Saturday as SkyTube?
Because Brushy's tough turn.
Yes.
When are they doing it?
The 12th, the 28th.
28, yeah, because I mean, they're gonna get it, they're gonna get it.
Okay. Okay.
But, I mean, I want Gore to get a day too.
We'll just have to talk to the athletic director and see tomorrow, the superintendent. I'll just have to write down dates that might be available and see what they can do.
Okay.
Can they do the 21st? Like they burn it away?
You definitely could do the 21st as well. The weekend before.
So 11/23, 12/21.
For now. There's a January that's probably going to be open too.
Okay,
All right.
alright.
Okay. What else did I have? So Hominy, you still debating?
Yeah, we'll come back.
Okay. Let's see. I need to get them one. And this is going to be Hominy. Throw down an H-Town. She said nope. All right. The next weekend is January 4th. Is that right? January 4th?
Yes.
Okay. So you got JC this weekend, Veneta. What'd you say?
We're on the regional day.
Okay. Anybody from Penn Kings?
Yeah, they want to keep that day.
January 4th? Okay.
Hey, Jerry, I think OKWA was on January 11th.
January 11th. So 1/11,
For a little while,
25.
but I don't want to speak for him. But I don't think he's going to be on JC.
Right. Who got?
Photo, they wanted it on the 11th. You got a spot?
Busy weekend.
Well, some of those will bump though. Now that you bumped, you know what I mean. Like NGC will be 18. I don't know about Berry Hill or anything, but I think they're usually our weekend.
They're Berry Hill and Salina are always the same. You're not moving, right? The 11th. Okay. What about they're west? Never mind.
Is Salina Friday and Saturday? Or
It is. They wrestle Division 5 on Friday night.
She was just double checking their dates.
Yep. I appreciate that. So
Battle of the Belt. We don't do the belt anymore. Is it just do you want to change it? Battle of the Axe. It's called Brawl. Brawl.
okay. Got you.
So all the ones that are not big churches, that's where they're going.
The ones that are not northeast, yeah, northeast or southeast, yeah. We're speculating for sure on some of them. They're usually the week before us, but they want to be after us this year for some reason.
Well, we're not going to compete against JOC. All of us are county
Yeah.
teams, so.
Yeah. So I have Poto that I have to get in here somewhere, right?
Well, look on down too, I mean.
Okay. Hold that thought, Poto. Give us just a minute, because that January that weekend's a busy weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's
Well, it wasn't on last year's schedule, but you made it now.
yeah.
You just made it busy.
Yeah. I know with Salina, Berry Hill, and Blackwell is what it's been in years past. So, all right. So the 18th.
Back to the
Go ahead.
battle, is that OKWA this year?
Where?
The Bedlam battle?
It was last year too.
They were last year.
Yeah.
Last year was our first year,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they were the weekend after JOC. I mean, they're not going to want to be the 4th either. He's already told me that.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
They're not going to be one to be the 4th.
He
So
said he wanted the 11th.
the 11th.
That's what he said last week.
They wrestled on Sunday last year, or they wrestled
Yeah.
some of them on Sunday?
I think they're gonna try to split it up
Girls
like they
on
did last
Sunday,
year.
okay.
11th and 12th.
They haven't confirmed it yet because they need to get.
Yeah. So and they'll be next weekend anyway. So we'll have to figure something out. Okay. So what about the 18th? I have Locust Grove. Is Locust Grove here?
Yeah.
Okay. I knew that. I'm a few years behind on that deal. Okay. You still want the 18th, I guess?
Yeah.
Where are you going, Elaine?
25th and 26th.
You still in Ponca City? Or are you going to move to Wichita?
At this exact moment, but I'm actively trying to make them change their mind.
I gotta get.
Saturday, the rules on
Yeah.
Saturday.
See you.
Thanks.
Yep.
Tulsa Nationals ends on the 19th.
Gotcha.
So 16th
It's
through.
actually, the wrestling's actually
It's
17th.
Thursday to Sunday.
17th through the 19th.
17th through the 19th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay. And then, anybody else on January 18th?
We can do it if you can get us in there.
Okay.
That'll relieve some pressure off.
And you're far enough from Locust Grove, right? Yeah. Okay. Any other takers for the 18th? What's your next weekend? Elaine, next weekend. So, novice championships this year will be February 4th. February what? February 1st. Sorry. 2-1. I obviously didn't look at the right calendar when I did stuff this morning. Guess I don't wake yet.
Elaine, is your only duels on Sunday?
You say you're only doing a rules line?
On Sunday.
What is it?
I was asking if Bristol got, I was thinking you had said Bristol moved to the 26th there.
There's a work with this with 60, but when that week it's
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure where they're going. Were they on your weekend last year? Were they on your weekend last year?
No. Well, they may have been.
Yeah, they were the same weekend as you last year.
I think, I want to say they popped up in there.
Yeah.
Last year.
Okay. Well, there's an extra weekend in there this year, so I don't know. I don't know where they're gonna go. I won't know until next weekend. What's that?
The 25th is open too, I guess.
Yes, it is.
I'm trying to get my kids, Forrest, we got a new school wrestling coach, and so I don't have the list of when the junior high tournaments are, so I wanna make sure there's not a junior.
Sure.
Because both my kids are junior high age.
Okay. I can tell you that. Well, never mind. They're usually junior high is usually done by about that. I mean, junior high state is the next weekend. After that, well, so it's actually February 8th this year. So, what about Wagner? Is Wagner here?
No, but he's talking to me right now. Junior high is that weekend, February 8th?
It is. Junior high state is February 8th. If he's opposite novice like he was last year, he would be 2-1.
Let's say, give him one.
Okay.
He went to regional warm-up on the 7th or whatever? Or 8th?
Yeah.
4 regionals?
But I think he was. I don't. He was last year. He was the same weekend. Actually, he was the same weekend as junior high state last year. He was the same weekend as junior high state last year.
So that means it'll be the 7-8.
So he would be 2-8.
Yeah, he just said give him the 8.
Okay. And then those are West clubs.
Yeah, because the January 31st first is Maverick Conference Tournament for junior high and high school, so that'll be that weekend.
The 20. What days?
February 1st.
Oh yeah.
January 31st and February 1st is the Maverick Conference Tournament.
Okay.
What's the story with Bristol?
They're West. They're next weekend. I don't know. I don't know if they're doing it or not. No idea.
Would OKWA be willing to adopt a bona fide state-sponsored dual event in case that they don't do anything?
I think if they don't want the tournament, we'll definitely do it, right? But if they want the tournament, don't they have dibs on it? Do we all
Yeah,
agree with that?
but it's the same weekend as novice, so if it's not in the same facility, then
Yeah.
It's tough to
that's
run.
not possible for us to be there, yeah.
Yeah.
So it would have to be a
Well,
different.
some of us don't go to novice. My daughter, not me.
I just feel like we'd get more participation if it was an OKWA dual state event.
I agree with you, Kyle, that's one time
But
I
we
said.
will be in open space and have the extra space to do it.
In Oklahoma City, yeah, like we did last time. We definitely consider it. So we'll talk to Krista next week. Unless you're gonna ride with me down there, you can talk to Krista. That's what I figured. Well, I figured.
Well, now that they have a tournament and a dual tournament, I mean,
Really, they can, yeah. Well,
maybe
they
they
did,
can see that
yeah.
they're more lucrative having the tournament than the dual one and give.
Yeah. Okay. Regionals will be 15. Did I get that date right?
Yes.
And state will be the 21st and 22nd. Friday, Saturday. Pretty much the same schedule as last year for state. I did start looking at the flyer earlier. The times changed just a little bit, just because we only get 14 mats here in Tulsa, as opposed to I think 16 in Oklahoma City. So the times are a little bit different, but it'll be pretty close to the same schedule that we had last year. We'll probably start a little bit earlier on Friday than we do down there. Okay.
Speaking of regionals, if you're from the Northeast, I have a ballot. If you don't have one, if you came in late, you didn't get a ballot. Or did we just decide that we're for sure doing it at Benita?
No,
No, we're good.
Oh, but you said Newkirk said they could have it, right?
I mean, they did, but we have the vote out. I don't know if you.
Are you voting or not?
So
Did you really, Brooks, did you really say Newkirk again?
I did. So to me, like, doesn't our bylaws say you can't host it 2 years in a row if somebody else wants it?
It wasn't that. It was that the winner had to have. So
It's just
the winner and the runner-up that were voted. There's a rule in the regs that states in order to host regionals, you had to have hosted a regular weekend tournament the year prior to be able to host a regionals tournament. You can't be brand new and just host a regionals. Does that make sense? And so the two clubs that had won it had never hosted a tournament before, and we're not gonna.
We were in Cleveland and just moved our club to a different town.
But Hominy has never hosted one, and that's what we have to go by. It sucks. I get it. We still gotta find you a date too, by the way.
I think that was the rule that caused the new.
So they never should have nominated to begin with.
Right.
And they were voted on.
Where'd you go, Kurt?
I take full responsibility. I got fucking motion.
Okay. So, Aaron, what do you got a date in mind? Anybody else? Is there anybody else? I know you're looking at a few options.
Yeah.
Anybody else that's here that wanted a tournament that didn't get one or doesn't have a date? Everybody else got a date if you wanted a tournament? May not like the date, but you get one. Okay. All right. And anybody new this year? I don't think anybody was new, right? Everybody that's hosting a tournament that got on the schedule, we didn't add anybody new. Okay. We may have to reshuffle equipment a little bit with some people moving around, but I think we'll be okay.
Are we voting or not?
I say not today.
Is there?
Hey, Jeremy, scroll that down to November.
We voted on
Or up, I guess.
Regionals. Where's regionals?
Okay.
For the Northeast.
So, do we not have any tournament on November 1st? Just the.
November 4th?
Second.
Second?
Oh, I'm sorry, February 1st. Right. It's just the state. Yep. And then the 8th, we don't have anything.
It should be dual state, Shane.
Do we know because Wagner is doing it?
The
The first one would be dual state. Everybody should bring a team.
needs to be like a second to fifth grade or something, because everybody else is in junior high or at Nava, so, but yeah, it needs to be, I don't know.
Thank you for coming. I'll be back. Thanks for the warning.
So you have to take votes?
How many with these clubs we have here? You're southeast.
If you're in Tulsa County, you're in the southeast.
Okay, all right. So let's take. So let's vote. So the vote is Newkirk or Bonita. If you didn't get a ballot, raise your hand. We'll bring you a ballot. Make sure you put your club on there. You don't get a vote.
Blackwell?
You don't get a vote. Yeah. All right. Yeah, and you can vote for Salina. So, yeah, so we'll give them to a ballot. And then, all right. What else do I have? Anything? I can show this real quick. Just for, I don't know how many of you in the room will be doing this, but come on, internet.
I think it might be.
So, you want to take these up?
What is it? Yeah, you can go pick them up. All right, so real quick for your adding from last year, just a quick demo. These things have changed a little bit. So wrestler card is where you're gonna add new wrestlers. You'll hit add from previous season. When you hit add from previous season, you're gonna see your full list of wrestlers. You can of course search whatever you want to search. You pick the one you want to pick, and then you're gonna have this add selected. You won't have these other two options, but you'll have this add selected. You'll click that, say yes. It'll throw them in your cart. You can do the pay now thing. It'll take you out to Stripe. You can pay for them, and they'll go through.
And it needs to say 20.
And it needs to say 20.
I wouldn't be as adamant, but our insurance went up again this year, so it just never ends with the cost.
Up and up and up.
I think last year went up like 40%. Like it was really bad.
I gotta figure out what's going on with that.
Who's here from Logan's Grove? Let me get your contact info, because what I've done in the last several years is after our term is over, all of our drinks, concessions, food, Gatorade, pop water, we'll get together and get you home to go. Okay. Man, I did that, and I never do it. And then it got to like negative.
So I'll still have to reach out to
There you go. 29.
Thank you.
One other thing I added, just so you guys know, is this club invoices. So once they pay, like their invoice from Stripe, will come over to this club invoices tab. And so then you can verify, like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I added these kids.
You can see what financials are going through.
Yeah, like who they paid for, who was on it. We'll see y'all later. Thanks for coming. Thanks for making the trip. All right, I think that's it. Unless you guys have anything else, thanks everyone. I needed a couple of you to come bring me contact info.
Hey,
Matt, hey, we get the vote for the regional ads?
Yeah.
Well,
Jeremy.
It won't be over today.
the majority is needed today, but I still need to reach out to the Northeast
Hey, yeah.
Board.
Hey, real quick, if you don't mind, we got like, I don't know, 20 mats that we gotta like shuffle around. If you got just maybe 10 minutes, if you come help us shuffle mats, it would make it much easier on us.
On the other side of the building, right?
It's back where we were at last year.
Don't get lost.
All right, so it's back around the building. If you guys want to go ahead and make your way back there, we'll go ahead. If you want to go do that real quick.
Jeremy, can you put the calendar back up and follow it up like that picture of it?
What do you?
Whatever you guys are ready.
You want this whole calendar? What's up?
We're putting on a high school and junior high tournament this year on November 17th in Blackwell. Do you think I can get 230s?
What day?
November 17th. There's only
Text
3
me.
tournaments that
Yeah,
weekend.
text me. I bet we can. We just bought 6 more too. I bet we can.
Okay.
Not as long as it's not what day?
17th.
Yeah, so it's not kickoff weekend, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you should have some.
But the law is supposed to be
I didn't invite you to
but you may have to add them again.
I am running a tournament in St. Louis this weekend.
Well, never mind.
Yeah,
I'd like to though, but
I was gonna say Bill's going too, so that's probably a negative either
yeah,
He does all the
that's funny.
software. Okay, so he'll know that something.
St. Louis, huh?
Yeah.
I don't think you shouldn't have to re-register, but that's what acting like you're gonna need to do is re-register.
I tried that and it said my username was already used.
So either way you went, it was like, nope, not happening. Yeah, you
Sean, how you doing? You repping any this year, or you probably?
Excuse me.
I'll be up there.
I gotta get to the maps.
Thank you. What'd you say?